How's it going? I don't have my sideways videotaping anymore. How is everybody? So, it's kind of late. My angle is a little off. I apologize. It's 11:20 at night, and I had kind of a weird day of sleeping. I was hoping to try to do something with my husband, and I didn't get to. So I've been laying in bed, and one of the things that I just want to talk about, if you're someone that has a chronic illness, is you've got one of the worst things that, one of them, I mean, there's a myriad of things that are nasty about having a chronic illness, but probably the worst, and I think most would agree, is the boredom. It's the hours and hours. I mean, I know prison is not a pleasant option, right? But I think that's part of what they always talk about too, is like the boredom, among other horrifying things that they have to deal with, which obviously I don't have to deal with, and most people with chronic illnesses don't have to deal with, but boredom. And you have to learn, if you're kind of new to having a chronic illness, whatever it may be, one of the things is you're going to have to learn how to find out what it is that you can handle on your really bad days. And on those bad days, what are the things that kind of keeps you from losing your mind and distracting yourself from the insanity of just sitting there and not losing your mind because all you have is the four walls to stare at. Thankfully, if you're, it's horrible. Having a chronic illness all across the board is horrible, but at least now we have social media. Thank God for social media, because for me, I used to have the television. That was my companion, is just watching TV, really bad TV, crummy stuff that I had no choice but, and I'd have it right by my bed, a small little TV, so I could watch it. But now, you could just see it in your lap, and any size that you want. It's wonderful. And so for me, like, I can't really read books. I can't really watch movies. I can't really watch really long things. This is like on my days where I'm just really down, like energy-wise, or just how I'm feeling. But yeah, at the same time, I can't sleep. So it's like this kind of in-between period. What do you do? And so I would recommend that you find those apps and things on social media that can kind of keep yourself somewhat stimulated or distracted, right? Until you've arrived at that time when you can go to sleep. You know how that is? Like sometimes when you're having those bad days, it's a relief to finally be able to, because like you can't go right back to sleep. Sometimes like you wake up, you're still tired, you can't do anything, but you can't go back to sleep. Your body isn't ready to go back to sleep. So you have to wait a number of hours before that time comes. But you kind of know, like after a while, you kind of figure out, okay, after around this time, then I can finally take my sleep medicine and go to sleep. And so that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to bide your time during that time before you can finally go to sleep. And at least then you don't have to worry about what you're going to be doing for the next 15 hours. So find some apps. Like for me, YouTube is great. I think the greatest thing ever is TikTok, because it is perfect for people like us with short attention spans who aren't emotionally invested in things. And you could still learn stuff, and you could also find stuff like that might help you with your health or help you with the things that you like. Like I love beauty and makeup and stuff. So, I see things and, I'll make a little note of it of, oh, I should try that, or I should check that kind of makeup out. So it's really important to do that. Like try to find those things, for also what was really like, magazines are really huge for me. Like I haven't been able to get to magazines, but I loved reading magazines as well. Magazines are really quick. Like I said, I can't really do books when I'm having those days. And even when I'm having a good day, I don't know, books are hard for me now. I used to be a huge, avid, voracious reader. So anyway, finding those things that are quick for you is what you want. And finding those things that can kind of distract you for hours at a time. I also go on Reddit. Reddit can be a cesspool for sure. But you can go to like askreddit, where you can just read about people's lives. Like that's what I do. I also do relationship advice. I'm just always kind of fascinated by, you know, some of these like interpersonal family relationships. But whatever it is that's of interest to you, like you're into jewelry making, and so you can like look up stuff on jewelry making, or you know, maybe you're into history, you know, and you could go, like, there's so many things too on Reddit. Like you could look up history, historical things, and find things like that on Reddit, and you know, just sort of, maybe not, it's kind of useless information, but it keeps you from losing your mind, because it's really hard. It is the worst when you can't go back to sleep, you're exhausted, you can't do anything, and you're just sitting there, and it's a horrible feeling. So, you know, of course it's going to take time. You're not going to figure it out overnight, but if there's one thing that I would want to tell someone who's new to the chronic illness community, is finding those things that you can handle that keep you occupied until you can finally go to sleep for the next 15 hours.